Good morning. Well, so someone wrote to me and said, so they like the L exercise. I wanted to know about what thoughts I had about breathing. The first thing I'd say is that you're breathing every day of your life and it's an automated system. But anyway, in the spirit of science, we don't start off with an attitude. We start off with a question and let's design some experiment. My best friend is this little CPAP machine, which is an air-driven pump. So we could use this to examine what actually happens when you breathe. So if we just relax and let the pump do the work, let's observe how it is we fill up and where it is. Okay, now I'm going to place my hand here, okay, in the center of the chest as a point of reference, so you can see the up and the down and so on. Okay. All right. Now this is set to maximum. This is a much 20 centimeters of water here. And now I'm totally full without any muscular effort whatsoever. So the first thing we notice from that is that when you are being completely filled, there is a kind of feeling of wrapping around this central point, okay, as a result, not a cause. Five, which is not very much at all. And what we kind of feel is that we're not reaching this point. We have a little bit of wraparound, but only. Oh, let's go 10. Yes, and now we're starting to feel a little bit more. And by the time we get to be about 15, that seems to be back to where it was. And at 20, we're back to where we were. So I think my conjecture holds legs, okay? If you're not fully inflating yourself, you will feel a bit of a feeling of wrapping around, but it will be low down. If you get to the point where you feel the wrapping around up here, then you know you are fully filled. So in other words, it's a biofeedback concept rather than a this is what you have to do. It's a concept of this is what's got to happen if you know you're doing it right, this unconscious process of breathing in, since you breathe in every day of your life, okay? So when you go pick up the trumpet, okay, feel this idea of wrapping around and you'll be sure you have a full capacity. So then we got to ask, okay, so then what happens with the exhale? Now it's very important in trumpet playing, and this goes back to something that Bill Adam used to say all the time. He always talked about keeping the chest up and not letting it collapse as you exhaled. A lot of people think you've got to kind of push from your guts, or you've got to push, your abdomen up into your lungs and all these kinds of things. But again, let's take the person and the thinking out of the equation and let's just use the machine and see what happens when we have the result, which is blowing out against a resistance. Okay. So it's pretty clear from that. Adam's absolutely right. If you're blowing out against a resistance, there's no sense of squashing down. All that happens is the wrap becomes less, almost as though you're a bird putting your wings back. The wrap becomes less, but everything stays up here. Okay, and so let's see how that works on the trumpet. And I haven't played today, it's early in the morning here. Works pretty good. So 10 harmonics first thing in the morning, not too bad. So this is not quite as scientific as my other postings, okay? But all I can suggest is I like this idea of a wraparound to ensure you're full. And I like this idea of just coming back this way with the wraparound, not collapsing, to feel that you're powering out the air correctly, regardless of the muscles involved. And for me, that seems to work good. I don't think I'm the last word on this, but I would like some other players out there, get a hold of one of these machines, do some experiments for yourself. You can, if you have your own particular way of doing things, well, put it to the test and see whether you can improve on that result. Obviously, the next step would be to design some apparatus so that we can actually measure the pressures on the exhale and see whether any of these theories about having to do something for your body to increase the power of the exhale actually hold legs, okay? But just from where I am at the moment, this idea of the wraparound and unwrapping but staying high, not squashing, seems to work a treat, and also has the advantage it's really easy to understand. And I've just been using this with like all the primary school kids, like K to 7, we're talking 9, 10-year-olds that I've been teaching recently, and they get it straight away and have gone from barely being able to play 5 notes to being able to play 5 harmonics. Okay, so it might not be the last word, but it seems to work a treat. Okay, hope that helps, and have fun with your CPAP machines.